It's May 31st, 2020. It's been kind of chilly and rainy here in Seattle. For this week, I'll start the updates with a segment from May 29th. So this is taken on May 29th. You can see I captured 5 of the black vine weevils. So yeah, they have been appearing quite often. I'll be looking out for them. Back to 31st, you can see the pine tree is growing now. You can see the new growth. The succulents are also sending out a lot of new leaves, like those. And I think this one is also sending out new leaves. And over here we have the elephant plant. You can see new leaves as well. And the frizzle sizzle. It looks like the plants are getting a lot bigger now. Now let's look at the raspberry bush. You can see there's a lot of fruits forming. And down here is just the new growth, the first year canes. I think those are actually going to flower later. But let's look at the fruits. You can see these ones are really nicely pollinated. Let's look at the other ones. These guys are also really well pollinated. Let's check another bunch. These guys too. So I think pretty much all the fruits are very nicely pollinated. This one is slightly turning pink. It's maturing very nicely. Here's the lavender flowers. You can see there's going to be a lot of flowers. I think some of them have opened, like those ones on the top. Rosemary looks pretty much the same. Another rosemary. The hydrangea is looking great. You can see a lot more flowers have opened. Let's take a closer look. You can definitely see a tiny bit of pink, but it's mostly white right now. Here's a new growth. Doesn't look like there's gonna be flower from this one. Over here's the artichoke. Down here you can see a flower forming. So it's still sending out flowers. That is a good sign. And in this same pod you can see I planted 3 new plants. Those are all mint. I posted a video about the planting a few days ago. So you can check it out if you want to. Here's the green onion. You can see the flowers are turning yellow, or the seed pods. Kind of gross. Over here we have the summer snowflakes, looks pretty much the same. The hyacinth dying back still. Lacy phacelia is still flowering. Down here's more bulb plants, they're all dying back. I can probably put them away sometime next week. Let's look at the mulberry. You can see the leaves are getting bigger, it's getting fuller. And the fruits, if you look closely, you can see they're slightly turning red now. Mostly on the side that is facing the sun. You can see these ones too. The sun facing side is turning red. So we're gonna have some mulberry pretty soon. Down here we have the lily of the valley. You can see the flowers are all gone now. Now let's look at the blueberry. You can see the leaves are getting bigger too, and the fruits are also getting a lot bigger. I'm gonna show you a few bunches of fruits. They're all forming very nicely. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of blueberry this year too. Over here we have the daffodil on the far side, and the grape hyacinth right here. They're all still dying back. The strawberries are doing well. You can see the leaves are looking very lush. Let's dig into the strawberry plants and see the strawberries. Right here is the one I've been tracking. You can see it's turning slightly red now. Looking great. Hopefully we can harvest this pretty soon. Let's look at another location. Right here, you can see two fruits forming. They don't look too bad. And I remember seeing a red one somewhere right here. Here's a red one. It's a little deformed, and also I think the slugs has gotten to it already. We also have the calla lily. You can see the sprouts are getting a lot taller. This one, the leaf is opening. Peony, pretty much the same. Not too much to talk about. And the dahlia is looking great. You can see the sprouts are also getting taller, like the calla lily. Not seeing any flower buds yet. Still too early. Hydrangea is looking great. You can see a lot of flowers forming. Let's look at this purple bunch of flowers. Looks very nice. These green ones are gonna open soon as well. Down here's a few more bunches of flowers. This one looks a bit blue to me. This one is very purple. This one looks pretty purple to me. Ginger hasn't sprouted yet. Beside the mints, I also started this new pot of plants. These are gonna be wildflowers. So basically I planted some crimson clover and lacy phacelia seeds. Both were stored in August of 2016. This is what the lacy phacelia seeds look like. And the yellow things are the crimson clover seeds. So I just picked some from both and mixed them. This is about the amount I'm going to plant into the pot. Hopefully most of them will germinate and flower and attract a lot of bees. That is the main reason I'm planting these. Over here we have a lot of sedum flowers and the asparagus. They're all looking fine to me. Here's more sedum flowers. The grape is looking okay, not too much change. Here's some faded flowers. To the left is some more grape flowers. Let's take a closer look at them. Right here you can see the flowers have all faded as well, and the green parts are kind of swelling, so hopefully they're actually gonna turn to grapes. These guys are the same, some green dot things. Hopefully they'll turn to grape. Here's the rhubarb, still sending out new leaves, like this one over here. From the video I mentioned earlier, I also planted the pineapple. Basically I repotted it for it to be outdoor because the leaf has started to grow again. Pot is a little heavy, so it's a little wet. You need to make sure it doesn't get too wet. And here's the snowdrop and saffron. For the indoor, I'm just gonna give you a quick look at this succulent over here. The leaves are still getting bigger, and this guy looks pretty much the same. The orchids are doing well. This new growth is still growing. Not seeing any new growth from that one. The lady slipper orchid sending out some new leaves right there. Here you can see a new leaf as well. Down here's the string of pearls, just same thing. Another orchid, the mini oncidium. Just gonna look at them very quickly. Here's just some more orchid. Right here's another orchid, and if you look closely you can see a new leaf forming from the base. Down here we have the small pear plant, and the staghorn fern is looking great too. One of the leaves from the staghorn fern is branching like this. Has to be healthy. Phalaenopsis looks pretty much the same. Ficus tree is the same. Here's some more succulent. The dragon tree plant is recovering well. Bird nest fern is growing nicely. Up here's the philodendron. Another pear plant. Looks like it's sending out a lot of new leaves. The Hoya plant is doing nice. You can see this new growth is still getting longer. And the mountain staghorn fern is doing well. You can see the shield frond is getting bigger, both of them. Let's take a closer look at the center. You can see a new antler fronds forming.